How's it going, guys? Tristan here with Montana Knife Company. We've been getting tons of questions on how to change the clip that we sell standard with our sheath on all of our knives. So you can actually move these around, but not everyone knows how to do it. So I'm just going to show you how to change this real quick. So these are ambidextrous. You can move these 90 degrees in every direction and flip them side to side on the sheath. So if you're left-handed, you can do that. All of the sheaths that we put together out of the shop, you're generally going to get in this horizontal configuration. So this works great for carrying it scout style on your belt or upside down on your pack strap. So I'm going to show you today how to change it just to the vertical position so that you can carry it like this on your belt. One thing to keep in mind is that we do Loctite our screws. So the first time you do this, it may be a little bit tough to get the screws out just so they don't rattle out of there. But a good thing to have is a Phillips head screwdriver. You will need this. And then you may also want a flat head screwdriver to hold the other side still if you have a little bit of trouble getting it out of there. So all I'm going to do is I'll go through the holes on the back side. There's a Phillips head in there, and I will just pull those screws out. There's two of them, couple turns, that pops right out. Do this other one. So I'll just kind of shake all this stuff loose. So what I'm left with is two rubber washers, two female parts, and then two Phillips head screws. So my sheath clip was on here like this. I want to change it so that it's upright. So all I'm going to do is align the clip the way that I want it, and then line up the holes with this slot right here. And I usually like to use this one. The closer that I can get it to the handle, the more balanced it's going to be when it's on my belt and or on my pack. So I'll get this kind of as high as I can on here. And then all I'm going to do is once I decide where I want that, I'm going to throw these rubber washers back in between the clip and the sheath, right where I want them. Not all sheaths come with rubber washers. Most of our larger knives will come with rubber washers. You don't actually need to use them, but sometimes it just helps, eat up some of that space where there's a change in the shape of the sheath. So don't worry if you lose these or don't want to use them, but they are nice to have sometimes. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put this threaded female end on the outside of my sheath. And the reason for that is it holds in there a lot better on the outside. So the screw will sit a lot flatter if I do it that way. And it's also a lot easier to get this Phillips head screw through the hole in the backside than it is to feed this big flat piece all the way through that hole and try to get it lined up in there. It's much easier if I just pop this flat end on that side and then feed the screw through the hole on the backside. So I'll just get that on my screwdriver. This helps if you have one of those magnetic screwdrivers. I'll just get it in there a few turns. Sometimes you have to compress that rubber washer a little bit to get the screw to bite. Make sure everything's where I want it. At this point, I can kind of move this around a little bit, kind of line up my rubber washer. I'll take my second threaded piece there, throw it on the end, just hold it in place with my finger. Then I'll take my other screw, feed it through that backside. There we go. So that's threaded. So I'll just go ahead, make sure that looks good, and then I will just tighten those screws up. And they don't need to be crazy tight, but you definitely want them snug. And don't be afraid to throw a little bit more blue Loctite on these screws. It'll help them not rattle loose as you're hiking around or riding a horse or a dirt bike or what have you. So as you can see, now this clip is upright. It opens this way, so I could put that vertically on my belt or on my pocket or something else like that. You can also, angle this at a 45 and carry it like that if you want. You just kind of have to play with those holes and where they line up. But we try to give you a lot of options with these slots and little grommeted holes. So I hope that helps you out. It's not too complicated. You just got to pull the screws out move the clip where you want it, and put them back in.